Welcome back, you filthy exiles. So another really popular request that I get is, what is the path of building, I guess, the Atlas tree that I'll be operating on from League Start? So let's talk about that right now. Okay, so we've got POE Planner here, and this will be, the link in the description will be provided below. So we're going to be going for three key things. The obvious being Delve, right? No brainer. The second being essences. Essences are really profitable earlier on, especially when you're mapping, and also really good at crafting early gear. And the third, because it's now in the game again, is Ultimatum. So we're going to be doing Ultimatums, going to be running a tanky character, so we might as well be doing ults at this stage. So yeah, let's talk about how I'm going to progress that. All right. And by the way, I have a second tree that I'll put in the POB as well. We'll talk about in the last half of this video, but yeah. So progressing early on, basically you start in your starting area like any self-respecting tree builder would start. So I wouldn't take this straight away. I would just go straight up to all hands. The reason being is all hands gives you a pretty damn good probability of having Nico rock up in maps. So maps have 40% increased chance to contain a random master, modifies to chance to grant an additional master mission on map completion. Instead applies to the chance for that the master be randomly encountered in your maps 150% of their value. What that basically means, instead of getting a crack master mission or a master mission accrue in your little master mission bank, it means that based on the probability of you taking, your increased chance that, for example, Nico rocks into maps, you get a 140% chance that there's an increased probability of Nico rocking up within your maps as one of your masters. What does this mean? Well, if we're doing early delve, this is a really, really easy way to sustain early delve just off mapping. So you don't have to muck around with scarabs or master missions or anything like that. He just rocks up, you accumulate sulfite, get straight into the mines, and you alternate. And that'll be a video that I put out tomorrow around what I usually do at League Start to basically prop up my early leveling and also prop up my early delving so I can get enough currency to continue to fund my build, which is pretty much a strategy I use every single league. So yeah, super easy. Anyway, all hands, first thing you get, right. Then I usually come up, I'll grab Mad Devotion, and in this case we're going to grab these prolific essence nodes here. Then we come up, well, weird program to use. Then we come up and we want to get Shaping the Mountains. Now, one of the biggest issues that people run into early on is they don't progress their maps quickly enough. And what that results in is just a stagnation of your map pool. So then you get stuck on like T5 or T10. And so I use a combination of farming cities and delve when I get to that stage and level delve up a little more. And then beyond that, I also take these nodes early on, shaping the mountains. Now, do you need these later on? No, you don't need these later on. You can take these off. But take this for now. It's really cool. Then we're going to take Pack with Energy, and then we'll take all the nodes down to Guarded Hordes. This is going to give you more sulfite and more accessibility to delve. Then we come up. We're going to come back down to the center and grab all these higher chance nodes and then overloaded circuits and then the rest of these higher chance nodes. For every one of these nodes, you're going to have an increased probability of getting your map pool completed. And this is what a lot of players do earlier on in the league. The other thing that you can also do if you're really bleeding in your map completion is focus points into Karak. And then basically you need to remove all hands then, you take these Karak map points here. You can also come across, and there's also more Solidarity Atlas scouting reports that you can get here, which synergize with Karak. But that's if you get really desperate. Just go for these higher map chance nodes. That should be fine. Then what I usually do is mining byproducts. This just gives you more azurite, a 10% chance that you also accumulate azurite when you accumulate sulfite in maps. And then obviously, more sulfite is better. Always want more sulfite. We've got to get down into those depths. Then I come up, I grab Sulfite and Fusion. And then we want to come up and get Shaping the World. This is going to increase your ability to accumulate maps further. And then we want to come up, we want to get Brave the Tower from Ultimatum. And see these points in here? We also want to get these 1% quant nodes because this is going to increase the quant in your maps. So it's going to increase your drops as well. And bear in mind, you can also go interior in here. And then you can pick up these 3 points in here. This is going to increase your rarity, and it's going to increase your quant. And then our essence node here, amplified energies. We come back out. We grab we probably want to grab these worthy of the past and worthy of the future and worthy of the present, so we can continue to pedal our ultimatum. And then basically we want to come back down and we want to grab this node here, Cryptic Gateway here. And then we're going to come across to this Cryptic Gateway, and then we're going to continue to level up our ultimatum nodes here. We'll continue to level up essences, and then more ultimatum on this side. Now you can take any route you want to go. If you just want to go straight for ultimatum and farm that early, then you can basically just go down to face the ultimatum and then basically pick up the ultimatum nodes. Otherwise, you can get the crystal lattice, which is going to give you 15% chance to gain 3 additional essences. And this is going to prop up your essence generation as well, which is usually pretty profitable at the start of the league if you sell it in bulk. That's basically my target tree. So one of the big priorities, map tier elevation constantly throughout to continually get more and high quality maps, so you progress your maps. Delve, essences, and then ultimatum, just because I wanted to have fun and play ultimatum. Now, is this a wandering path tree? No, that's a different tree altogether. But this is basically what I'll be league starting with, so I can play a whole heap of different mechanics. Now you get to 126. That's like assuming you get like maximum map completion. There'll be compromises to make here, so maybe you don't need these nodes, or maybe you don't need these nodes. So you could leave these nodes off and save a few points. But it sort of lets you go in a few different directions, and then yeah, as you progress, you'll progress it further, and then yeah, you'll just get continually better drops. But it really depends on what you want to target. If you complete your map completion early and you don't need these map nodes to sustain, drop these off and chuck it into other points. It's usually what I do. But anyway, that's basically the tree that I'm going to league start with this league, or start progressing when I get into maps for this league. Okay, so for those of you like me, and you might get bored now and again of delving, and you feel like playing another mechanic, which is probably inferior to delve, because let's be real, delve is the greatest mechanic in PoE, with no contest. Someone's gonna make a comment about that comment. Anyway, if you want to farm something else that's reasonably profitable, you could do invitation farming, which is taking down the 10 bosses in the Maven Crucible, or Invitation Crucible farming, whatever you want to call it. And the other thing I usually do when I synergize this is I also run endgame map bosses to get Guardian, to get your Synthesized and or your Conqueror map drops. Now, basically, there's not too much difference between this tree. This is where I usually go to if I get bored, but basically this tree covers off on invitation farming. It covers off on essences and delve at the end of the day, and map progression. So very similar start, and if not, in fact, exactly the same as previously explained. Take all hands, come up, get Mad Devotion, grab Prolific Essence. Then you want to grab all these nodes up here. Then you want to come up, you want to grab these nodes in here for map progression, your delve nodes, and delve nodes here. Now, you can take a circular around the outside of here. This will give you quant, and this will give you quant and rarity and essences, which is profitable. And then you want to so you want to get Shaper of the Worlds. Then you want to branch out, and you want to come down, and you want to get these invitation nodes, because this is going to give you access to a lot more probability of getting Maven's invitations. And farming Maven's invitations pretty damn profitable, because you can get Crescent Splinters, Awaken Gems, you can get all other sorts of stuff that drop, better maps, and you can sustain your Guardians, you can sustain your Conquerors, and you can sustain synthesized maps to a degree. All of this is going to make your currency. I know that I've got a friend of mine that runs Twisted, I think it's Twisted Tree synthesized maps, and they're super profitable, and just runs those over and over again. Now, the other thing to bear in mind too, see I've got all these nodes ticked up here. This is all 2% effect of modifiers on your non-unique maps, which basically means this is going to prop up your ability to drop better Guardian maps, synthesized maps, and Conquerors maps, and that's going to give you a lot more profit in maps. You basically want to target as much profitability as you can. And then basically you come back down, go to the Cryptic Gateway, and then pick that Cryptic Gateway up here, and then come up and get your 2 Essence nodes, and Bob's your uncle, you're done. Now, there is room to move here. I left a bit of wiggle room, because if I do it maxed out, someone will be like, you don't complete map completion in the first day. The idea is you're probably not going to get map completion done for the first 2 days to 3 days if you're sort of playing the league hardcore. Some people do get it done in the first day, and they're just mad because it's like 24 hours straight, and you basically ruin the first week for yourself, because Instead of enjoying progressing through the game, you're just blasting through to be the top of the list. And some people like that. That's not how I play the game. Anyway, if you wanted a couple of strategies that you could apply to playing the game and getting a good profitable result, if you're a delve player like me, these atlases will work. Give you essences or ultimatum, or if you want to do the invitation farming strategy, you can. And the only other thing I'd say is also maybe take Trials of Glory, because you could also get elevated offerings as well, offering of the goddesses, and potentially they might be worth a lot more this league than what they were in previous leagues if they provide something that we don't even know about, or potentially a gem roll that might not have even been announced yet. But aside from the standard transmute gems. Anyway, if you like this video, don't forget to like and sub. The links in the description for both of these trees will be provided down below. And until league start, stay filthy, and I'll see you guys later.